I believe that being of service to others, helping people, is one of the greatest sources of inner peace. And until recently, I just did it because I just felt good, but I didn't realize that it is actually a therapeutic process. When I think about my own problems, I dwell in them. The last thing I want to think about is the solution. I just want to feel bad about myself. I want to crawl up under a blanket and feel like nothing is going right in my life. I just want to have self-pity when I'm thinking about my problems, right? And there's no joy, there's no peace and happiness in self-pity, in anxiety, in depression, right? But when I hear somebody's problem, they come to me for help. The first thing that I think about, I'm not emotionally attached to their situation. So the first thing that comes to mind is, how do we solve this problem? What can I do to help you? What do you need from me? So my mind opens up to opportunities or possibilities that are available in order to solve this problem. And when I'm in that state, there's no worry, there's no anxiety, there's no depression, there's no self-pity. All these negative emotions fly out the window immediately when I start focusing my mind on somebody else's business. I'm one to say, get out of other people's business. But when they invite you to help them, then that's an opportunity for you to find peace within. When God says help somebody else, or somebody gives you an opportunity to be of assistance to them, that is actually God giving you an opportunity to rest, to find peace and happiness in your soul. Because there is no way that you can think about other people's problems and how to solve them and not find peace or joy in your spirit. At least in my world, that is the case, right? I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. So the one thing that I'm learning right now is to have peace with people who walk around asking money. The car guards, the homeless people who just approach you and ask you for 2 rand. I mean, those people stare me up the wrong way. You'd swear that that person insulted me. You'd swear that they saw at me, right? But it's just a person asking for 2 rand. And in most cases, I do have the 2 rand. I do have the 5 rand to give away. But I just get so upset. I don't know what gets me so worked up about people asking for 5 rand to buy bread, 2 rand to buy bread. They always say they want to buy bread, right? I don't know what gets me so worked up about that. But recently, God has been trying to teach me that, when I encounter or experience somebody like that, it is God giving me an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else. I believe in being a blessing to other people, but I don't know why I've never seen giving a 5 rand to a car guard or a 5 rand to a homeless person asking for money as a blessing. I think it's because I've always judged the people. It is basically a point of judgment. I react from a point of judgment because I'm thinking, yeah, right, they all say they're going to buy bread, but they're going to buy drugs. That's the first thing that I think about. That's why I get so worked up. But God is trying to show me that, when you give out just that 5 rand, you don't know how much it will change somebody else's life. And 5 rand, that doesn't mean anything, maybe, to me, right, sitting here. So it is important to recognize those opportunities that God gives us to be a blessing to others. For you, it could be you are sick and tired, and your sick and tired is also sick and tired of hearing this girl's story about her and her boyfriend and their fights, right? You are up to here. You don't want to hear it anymore. And the next time she comes to you, you're going to tell her off. Have you ever taken note that it could be God giving you an opportunity to stop dwelling on your own problems? God is giving you an opportunity to listen to somebody else's problems, because as you are listening to her, or as you are listening to him talking about the same problem that he's been talking about for the past 5 years, but he's still with his girlfriend even today, it is an opportunity for you to focus on something else and get your mind off the stresses that you have in your life. So once you start realizing that being a blessing is actually a therapeutic process for yourself, for your inner being, then I believe that it can start stirring up more opportunities for you to find in order to be a blessing. I mean, it sure is doing that for me. I don't get as upset anymore when somebody asks me for a 5 rand or 2 rand. These days, I am willing to share my money, because you know what used to happen? I mean, I would slam a door in somebody's face and lock my doors, right, and drive off. But the whole way to my next destination, I would either be so upset that why would this person ask me of everybody else that was in the parking lot, right? I'll think about that the whole way. Or I'll be thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I feel bad. I could have given that person 5 rand. I mean, I do have it. I really do have 5 rand to give away. Why didn't I? Then I'll start feeling bad all the way to my next destination. But I've found, now that I'm seeing all these little things as my opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else. When I give away that 2 rand, if I have, when I give away that 5 rand on days that I do have it, then I feel good about myself. I don't have to think about that person. I can just say, thank you, Lord, for giving me an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else. Because, you know, you'll never know what a 5 rand can do in somebody else's life. So you'll never know what that ear that you have for that person and their problems is doing for them. For example, I mean, sometimes people are on the edge of depression. Sometimes people are on the edge of suicide, but you being that ear for that day, a willing ear, you know, taking in whatever it is that they're giving you. Sometimes people just don't need your advice. They just want to let off some steam in order for them to be able to deal with their situations. So you being that ear, probably you're saving somebody from committing suicide. You saving someone from that brink, or from that edge of being thrown into depression, just by being that listening ear. You know, there are so many opportunities that we miss out on to be a blessing, not recognizing that actually, as you are being a blessing to somebody else, God works something in you. I mean, there is no way that you can listen to somebody's problems if you are really listening, and in the back of your mind, you're busy thinking about your problems. Immediately when you pay attention to somebody and you give them your listening ear, then you stop thinking about your problems. And I believe that sometimes you even find your solutions in the midst of this person's problems, right? They share so much detail that eventually they end up helping you with your own problems. So what am I saying? What is it that normally rubs you off the wrong way, right? When people do it and you are almost about to blow up because of what these people are doing, or people expect you to do. Could it be your family is forever calling you for money? Could it be a friend who's forever complaining about the situation, but it seems like they're not willing to get out of it? Could it be the car guards? Could it be, your children who always come into your study and make noise? They want your attention, and at that point where you really need to focus on your work, what is it that rubs you off the wrong way? How about looking at that situation as your opportunity to be a blessing to other people? Because you now understand when you are being a blessing to somebody else, then whatever it is, maybe you might not be worrying about it, but whatever it is that you are struggling with can be sorted out just because you were willing to be somebody else's blessing. We do all have those little opportunities. It could be your colleague asking you, help me out. They're forever late with their their deadlines, right? They're forever late. You forever have to jump in and help out. But what if that is God's way of giving you an opportunity in a month to be a blessing? Maybe you hardly think about anybody, but there is that one time in a month where you're supposed to jump in at work and help somebody else. And that's why it keeps happening, because God is trying to make sure that you are a blessing to somebody else, because he knows that when you are a blessing, then you invite all sorts of good things in your life, all things that you're praying for, all things that you're hoping for, you start attracting by being a blessing to somebody else. So, if you want to have peace, try getting your mind off yourself and start being busy with other people's business. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach. Happy weekend!